not sure if he should go with the label and if the label is good enough, or if he should just try and wait for another label. And that's a problem. As I mentioned yesterday in the mixing video, I usually mix the track also on the second day. I try to mix it a bit more in depth with fresh ears, just trying to adjust the last little mistakes that I hear. But today I actually tried out an entirely different approach. I even went back and changed the melodic part, something I really try to avoid when I'm in the mixing stage already, but I think it was necessary for the track. And that's kind of a key component in trying to improve as a music producer, just trying out different things, because you never actually really know what it's going to sound unless you actually do it and listen to it. And I was also thinking about and preparing a new segment. I'm still not really sure in which direction I want to go, but I was thinking about making videos with a topic that is a bit more analytical, maybe having an example track and analyzing it, what the artist really did and how he achieved it and what effect it has on the listener, or maybe answering questions like why all music sounds the same, what are the reasons for it, and these kind of things. I'm still not sure about the details of the segment, and also I still don't really know what to call it. But I think it could be interesting to do a video that has to do with music, but isn't necessarily just about how to actually make music. Let me know if this sounds interesting to you. Maybe you even have some topics that you could suggest. Now it's again time for another edition of Q&A. I didn't really have the time to answer a lot of questions in the past week, so let's just get started. So the first question is by Issa. He's asking me about the part that I sampled with the vinyl, which are the steps that I need to take for getting it officially released. Usually you have to ask the people that own the rights. This is usually the label and also the person that wrote the track. If you take a melody, you have to ask the person that wrote the melody. It can be that the rights are with a publisher, so it's really extremely complicated. Usually most people just release it on SoundCloud, and then if it gets noticed and is good enough, it's way easier to get the rights. But getting the rights as a small artist without having really good connection is almost impossible. I actually had quite a few comments about me saying that Reason is gimmicky. I just personally don't really like it, but I have to say I used it the last time maybe 5-6 years ago, and I didn't like the approach that it's mimicking a studio with racks and cables that you have to pull and put into things. It's just not what I really like, and I'm sure the program has improved over the years, and I'm 100% sure you can do with it anything you can do with any other DAW. Basically nowadays one DAW comes up with something new and the other ones just copy it within half a year, so just stick with one, learn it, and you will be fine. The next question is by Phil. He's also asking me if it's legal to use the samples that I used in one of the past episodes. I just have to say no, it's not legal. You can't sample something and then just release it or even make money with it or sell it to a label. That's not possible. If you just sample a kick or just a loop that isn't really recognizable, or you change it that much that nobody will ever know about it, then you kind of can do it. It's still risky, but yeah, just sampling one shot shouldn't be a problem, because all of the sample CDs that you're probably using to make your tracks use one-shot samples that got sampled from other tracks. And there's not really a way of knowing that, proving that, so that's kind of okay. But if you sample a melodic part or like a sound part or a very characteristic part, you will get into trouble, definitely. The next one is a suggestion for Carnival. I should just put a bedsheet over my head and dress as a ghost producer. Jack is asking, when you did ghost producing, did you retain your rights? Could you use that beat again? I of course still have my copyright. Nobody can take that away from me. I can't sell it. That's not possible by German law. but the master rights, the rights to sell the track and make money of it, is usually with the label or the artist that I sold the track to. So I can't reuse any of the things that I made for other people and actually sold to them. Konstantin is asking if he should buy the LG 34-inch curved monitor or just the flat one. I myself just have here the flat one and I'm super happy with it. I personally am not a big fan of curved displays. I think they only really pay off if you have the perfect distance. So I still think it's not worth it to spend the extra money just to have the display curved. The next question is a tricky one. It's by Severin. He's asking me for advice. A very small label is interested in releasing one of his tracks, and he's now not sure if he should do it and work with them or not. And that's something I also always think about for quite a long time. I think the most important is that you first of all have a good feeling working together with these people. Because if you sign a contract with them, it usually is for 10 to 15 years. So you have to make sure you can work with them in the future and make sure that you know that you will get your money and that they will take good care of the track. Of course, at the beginning, it's tempting to just go with any label because you're happy just to get an official release, but be careful with it. It could harm you if you get a bit more noticed and a bit more famous. These people still have the right to re-release your track, and they will do so. And this way, if somebody looks up your name in one of the platforms, let's say Spotify, the re-release track will appear as the newest. You should of course research everything you can find about the label, check out other artists, how known are these other artists, is the label taking good care of these artists, are they always releasing with new people, or do they have kind of a crew of maybe 10, 15, 20 people that release frequently on the label? What are their plans for promoting your track? How much money will they kind of invest? How many people are working with the label? How serious are they? Are they just doing this as a hobby? Will the track be released on Beatport or Spotify or on both, and also Apple Music and all these other platforms? These are things you just have to ask them. And if you already have a bad feeling or they don't really answer to your questions, it's probably just better to go with another label. He's already himself saying that's a very amateurish label and he's not sure if it's a scam or not. So if you already have a bad feeling about it, then probably just don't do it, because you put a lot of time into your track and it would be really sad just seeing them uploading it to the platforms and not really promoting it or doing anything else with it. At the end, in this case, if the label is not really working, you're probably better off just releasing it yourself. This way you at least get 100% instead of just usually 50%. And if the label is not really doing anything, then why give them 50%? On the other side, if you have a label where you have the feeling they are taking good care of you as an artist and also of your track, and they have a lot of promotional power, then definitely go with the label. This way you will reach a lot more people than just with your own label or just releasing your tracks on SoundCloud. A label is definitely worth their 50% if they're doing a good job. At the end, it's really a business decision. If you think the label will make you money, go with them, or if they promote you so that you get gigs and at the end also money, then go with them. But if you don't have the feeling that anything will happen, then just leave it, keep the rights of your track and try to find another label. The next question is by Daniel. He's asking me how much time passes from when you start producing to when you got a release. This really varies. It also really depends on the label. If it's a good label, it can be fast. It really depends also on the release schedule of the label, and usually it takes longer than you expect it to take. I had tracks that I made 2 or 3 years ago and they're still not released. You usually sign a contract with the label and then the track belongs to the label, and they can still decide not to release it. Actually, that's exactly what happened to my All About track. I made it, I think 5 years ago or 6 years, no, 5 years ago, I think, in Berlin. I recorded the vocals. The track was all finished. I signed it to a label. they decided not to release it for 2 years, and every couple of months that I asked them when it will be released, they just said, yeah, later, we still have other things to release. Then I tried to cancel the contract. Luckily, they were friendly and just said, okay, here, take your track. This could have been otherwise a lot of problems. Some labels just keep the rights and keep these tracks and never release them. So yeah, for the All About track, it took like 5.5 years. This is really the longest I ever had. With other tracks, it can be like a month. If you really work fast and it's your own label, or you're really close to the label, I think it's possible within a month from the finished track to the actual release. Of course, only if it's like a digital release. If you do a CD release or a vinyl release, this takes even way longer. Just for example, one of my tracks was released on Nick Warren's The Soundgarden mix CD, and I think I signed it to him like 3 or 4 years ago, and it got released 2 years ago. So 2 years to get it onto the CD and out into the stores. Then it's even a bigger problem to get paid. That's a whole nother story. DJ Empower is asking me what I can play with the guitar and if it's necessary as a producer to be able to play chords with the guitar or even melodies. So first of all, I don't think you really need to be able to play the guitar as a producer. It's nice if you can, but it's not really necessary. You need to know what a guitar sounds like, of course, when to use it, when not to use it, how to mix it, how to record it. And if you need a guitar, just ask somebody that is playing the guitar for 10 years to play it for you. This way you will end up with a better result. It's the same as with a movie director. He's kind of giving the direction of the movie and he's telling everybody what to do, and he's at the end responsible for the entire movie. But he's not the one acting or holding the camera or doing the lighting or the coffee or whatever else is necessary to make a movie. If you need something, just get other people that are specialized in it, because at the end your task is just to make the best track possible. I myself, for example, I can play chords and also melodies with the guitar, but I'm not really precise. Like my fingers are not trained enough. I started playing the guitar way too late and I teach it myself, so I'm lacking a lot. So I usually record the guitar a bit slower and correct it with the software, so I'm kind of cheating by using my producer skills to make the guitar sound good. The next question is, how many winners will I choose? I don't know, actually just one person will be like the main winner, but if there are more tracks that are good, why not release them? So I really leave that open. It depends on the submissions. And will I listen to every single submission? Yes, of course. I will definitely listen to every single one. I think I already listened to at least 50 of them. And that's really it. I just got a message by Vanessa. She's waiting for me. We still have to choose a carnival costume, and we're now meeting in one of these stores and just trying to find something. And I'm of course, as always, late. We didn't have any luck with the costumes, but at least we got a baguette. Yay! Hey. Yeah.